Hi everyone, Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and today Apple released iOS 18.4 RC. This was surprising as I thought it would be beta 5 since the update is expected to release sometime in April. But along with this update, we got the release of iPadOS 18.4 RC, macOS 15.4 RC, tvOS and HomePodOS 18.4 RC, and visionOS 2.4 RC as well. Now, I'm not running the 18.4 betas. I'm on iOS 18.3.2, but I am going to talk about what's new in iOS 18.4 RC. And the first feature is within the emoji keyboard. Now, because I'm not on the betas, this will obviously not show up for me yet, but you do have 7 new emojis within iOS 18.4. They consist of a face with bags under eyes, a fruit tree, a splinter, a harp, as well as a shovel, a fingerprint, and a leafless tree. And these are what they look like here. The 7 new emojis: face with bags under eyes, fruit tree, a splinter, a harp, a shovel, a fingerprint, and a leafless tree within this update. Also, the Genmoji button now exists somewhere within the keyboard in iOS 18.4 in iMessage if you have an iPhone that supports Apple Intelligence. As far as the control center, well, in iOS 18.4, you now have an ambient music control center within this update. You have different controls for ambient music in iOS 18.4. Also, in the Photos app, if I go into the share menu down here at the bottom and I go under filters, we now have a shared with you or not shared album within that update in iOS 18.4. And if you need to know how to make the photos a little larger, if you're not already familiar, you can just zoom with 2 fingers. But you have to be, the tool menu have to appear at the bottom. This menu down here where it shows years, months, all, and the X button, if that's not there and you see your other options, then you're not able to make the photos larger. You have to see this tool menu down here where it shows your different options. And from there, you can make the photos as large as you want or as small as you want. I'm going to keep them large for right now. Also, within the News app, you now have recipes in iOS 18.4 as well. Now, if we go into settings and we go down to notifications, you have prioritized notifications in iOS 18.4. And also the new Mail app in iOS 18.4, the one that we get back in December with iOS 18.2, finally is now on the iPad. The new Mail app is here. Now, in December, I did make a video where I show how to get rid of not only the sort of list view or switch back to list view, but how to get rid of the contact photos. If you're not already familiar, I will just quickly show you. You go under your apps, and then you scroll down or you search for mail. And if you go to mail here, there is an option. I got to figure out where it was because I kind of forgot. You have the option here that says show contact photo. Now, if we go into show contact photo here and then switch to list view, it looks pretty much just how it did before the new Mail app change. But I typically like to keep this enabled as I like the changes that we've seen with the new Mail app in iOS 18.4. Now, if you have an iPhone 15 Pro, Pro Max, you will now have visual intelligence right within the action button. So if you go into, you will have visual intelligence, and it does exactly what visual intelligence on the iPhone 16 models do. You will have it, and you will also have it as a separate control in iOS 18.4 also. And that is also for the iPhone 16e as well. If you have the recently released iPhone 16e, you will also have visual intelligence within the action button, and you will also have a control for it as well. Now, as far as anything else from Apple, well, since we got iOS 18.4 RC unexpectedly today, well then, I guess next week on March 31st, it's possible, but since a lot of rumors are saying that we're going to get it in April, I probably would not expect a release. Maybe we will have a RC2 and then have iOS 18.4 release on either Wednesday, April 2nd or Thursday, April 3rd. If we don't have a RC2, then I would expect a release of Tuesday, April 1st, 2025 of iOS 18.4. It's also possible that we could see it released on Monday, April 7th, if that's when Apple wants to release it. Whenever it releases, I will have two videos, one for the iPhone. If there is enough features on the iPad, I will mention one for the iPad, or maybe I'll just make a short video on the iPad for the new Mail app. We'll have to wait and see. But I will have a video talking about the features in iOS 18.4. Also, tomorrow, I would hopefully expect invites to the Worldwide Developers Conference, or not invites rather, but announcement dates. This is when we can expect to know exactly when WWDC will take place. So we will get those announcement dates tomorrow, and then we will know for sure when WWDC will happen. That is when we will get iOS 19, iPadOS 19, macOS 16, and other softwares as well. And if I go over to my YouTube community page here, I left a picture. You will have the option in iOS 19 to switch between circular and round or square shaped icons. Personally, I am excited for that. And if I get the chance to upgrade my iPhone, I will indeed install the beta. I know I say that a lot in every video, but that's what's going to happen if I'm able to upgrade on my iPhone 12. I will install the iOS 19 beta so that I can give you guys some content. As far as anything else from Apple, well, that's it for iOS 18.4. It's quite a nice update. I'm Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and I will see you guys later. Peace.